Jaden Ivey in for Talen Horton-Tucker. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Freaks checked in. Here's Cunningham. So the Lakers 5 right now. Williams is out there with Avdia. Then there's Christie. Then it's Freak. And it's Reeves in at the 2. And it goes down 2 points. Cunningham's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you know, he's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
To end the cold streak. And it's Freak missing. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Pistons. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Six on the shot clock. Baseline J on the way. And Detroit again with the bucket.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
Here's Freak. No good on the triple. Detroit with the ball. They're on a 12-3 run right now. To the paint. Here's Ivey. Over Christie. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Driving in. Freak. Goes back up. And good. He hits it again.
And he set a new all-time record for single-game scoring in the playoffs.
I mean, what a night to remember. And for those of us who are lucky enough to witness it, I'm sure we will never forget this.
And maybe, you know, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes.
And a miss there on the triple.
This has not been a good quarter right here. Shot has been off the mark, and now it looks, Kevin, like he's pressing a bit.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
Great vision from Ivey. That's what sets him apart at the 2-guard spot.
Los Angeles has gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. And it's Freak missing.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly. And a moment now for him to just kind of soak it all in the midst of this incredible offensive performance.
Well, Greg rising to the occasion. All eyes are on him.
Oh, he is in the zone, and you just assume right now that if he throws it up, it's going in.
Stewart's checked in for the Pistons.
Boy, I'd love to see him just get a smidge closer to the basket. Once he sees a few shots go in from there, that might open up everything from distance.
Here's Cunningham. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Cunningham's got 14 points here in the second half.
Yeah, Cade, hard to stop. He's got his motor revved high tonight.
Here's Freak. And again for 3.
What can you say? Wow, he's done it. The most three-point makes in NBA playoff history.
Oh, an incredible achievement. One that will surely be celebrated around the world. Here's Cunningham. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Avdiev's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Here's Freak. No good with the triple.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Back to Ivey. And it's Cunningham, top of the key. Nice jump shot from the top of the key. Cunningham's got 9 points in the quarter.
Okay, nice job here in the second half. Field goal percentage is way up from what it was at halftime when it was just barely above 30%.
Here's Freak. The three-pointer is right on target. Freak's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Lakers. And here's Cunningham. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
He's going to be shaking his head on that one. Knows he missed an easy one.
Yeah, you can't make them all, and for sure you'll want him taking that kind of shot.
Now the pass to Freak. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to go on Bojan Bogdanovic.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
I've been dragging him around
And a chance to
all game,
catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Guys, the D hasn't had an answer for the three-point shooting, which is why they continue to just fire away from deep.
Well, if we add another thing to it, it's about the urgency they've played with. I mean, you look at the eyes of these guys. They're focused, wanting to get up tempo, and that's helped them score on the fast break.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Reds checked in. Robinson is subbed in for Christie. He doesn't get the second one. The Pistons have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. The shot by Ivy, no good.
Well, after an impressive first half, he's just not been able to get the room or get anything going here in the second.
Freak. Good. Another from three.
He has been on the money from deep.
Yep, definitely looking to shoot it as much as possible. Pass to Claxton. They can't stop the run with that one.
Well, he creates such a great opportunity right at the rim, and he just can't get it to go. Even with the defense not really a factor.
And that one's good. Freak.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
And that's what you like to see right there. A solid move to give himself some room and take it inside.
Shooting one.
And what you get in Cade Cunningham is an oversized point guard who really knows how to use his size, see the floor, and initiate offense.
And again for three. He's really sniping them from outside.
Locked in, feeling confident in that three-point shot.
Detroit's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Ivy. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Now here's Freak. Ivy defending. Here's Freak. Rebound, Detroit. There's 1:26 left to play here in the fourth.
And wow, that's the end of an epic journey taken by both these teams in unbelievable fashion. Get the NBA title rings ready, folks, for Los Angeles.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And they're going to win the title in the most emphatic way possible with a clean sweep in the finals.
And guys, once they got them down 3-0, it could taste that championship. There just was no way they were letting them off the hook. They came out with a little something extra and just made sure that we were going to see a trophy presentation here today.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Freak.
He was tough to cover all game long. One of those nights when he felt like nobody could stop him, and they didn't.
Here's Freak. That's tipped. Now, here's Cunningham. He's guarded closely. Now, Ivy misses the 3. Beyond the arc. And it's Freak missing. And that's it, folks. The Los Angeles Lakers have won it all. Wow. Oh, to be crowned a champion on the road is something else. To win and to do it with a crowd that was so emotional and so into this game, you've beaten the team and you've conquered everything that this great arena holds.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet moment for the home crowd. But our full credit to the victors and the amazing job they did to never lose focus or drive. And boy, this is the moment they've been working towards all season long. And even though they don't get to celebrate in front of their home fans, does not take away from the satisfaction.
let's take you to the presentation of the Larry O'Brien Trophy. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver doing the honors.
He told him! Come on! Come on! That's three! That's three! Yo, come here.
Just a moment here. MP. Hey. So, you've been wearing your father's and your grandfather's jersey quite a bit this postseason. I don't think I noticed that in your previous 2 championship runs.
Right.
Any particular reason for that?
Man, coming into this championship run, I just been thinking about legacy and what that means. It all started with my grandfather and my father, of course. And, I love them dudes. I love them. We'll be here without them. And I just want the world to know how much they mean to me. I love y'all.
Congratulations, MP. Well done.
You.
Well done.
Yeah, come on. Where you going? Hey. Yeah, let's go. We told you. We told you. Yes, let's go, coach. Woo!
Clean sweep, baby. Let's go.
When MP entered the league, he was hailed as the greatest prospect since LeBron James, and today I'm ready to declare that he surpassed him. That is clearly a monumental achievement. I happen to have LeBron ranked number 2 on my all-time list. Well, 3 now. But there's a host of people who have him ranked number 1, and as much as I might disagree with them, I understand it completely. LeBron James is a phenomenon as much as he's a basketball player. A freight train of a human being. He combines Shaq's athletic dominance with Magic's passing chops. He combines Kobe's will to win with Michael Jordan's flair for the dramatic. He retired first all-time in scoring and third all-time in assists. He has 4 MVPs, an insane number of all-star selections, all-NBAs, and all defensive teams. And he made the finals 8 straight years. There was a stretch of time when if LeBron was in your conference, you might as well not even show up for the playoffs. Sure, he lost a few of those finals, but he won plenty. And at the end of the day, he's the 3rd best player of all time, behind only MP and Michael Jordan.
Every basketball fan around the world knows the legend of MP. Son of Prince, grandson of Truck, fearless competitor, tireless worker, winner. And while the seeds of all of this were planted long before I met him, the MP that I met was, in many ways, still a child. Now, I don't mean that as an insult. When he first walked into my office, he was only 19 years old. How many of you were fully formed adults at 19, huh? Shaq? I'm looking at you specifically, buddy. Now, what do I mean when I say he was a child? Well, for one thing, he had a child's enthusiasm for the game. MP hung on my every word when we first met. Listened to everything I said like it was the most important thing he had ever heard. I mean, he really did listen. You know, he'd go out and execute something you talked about in a film session like he'd been working on it his entire life. But he was a child in other ways, too. For one thing, he was obsessed with Ninja Turtles. I'm serious. He had the figurines and everything. He said they'd be worth a lot of money one day, but I'm pretty sure he played with them when no one was watching. What I'm trying to say is that MP was himself, first and foremost, from day one in the league until the day he retired. And while he did a lot of growing up over the years, that boyish enthusiasm for the game never left him. It's what made him great. He never lost that passion for learning and growing and getting better. And I'm pretty sure he still has those Ninja Turtle figurines laying around somewhere. Now, you can't talk about MP without talking about his accomplishments on the court. So, let me talk about some of the most impressive. He holds the record for most points scored in a single season. That's right. He scored more points in a single year than Wilt. More than MJ, more than LeBron, more than whoever your favorite's favorite is. MP was that dude. He holds the record for three-pointers made in a single season. Now, records are made to be broken, but it's gonna be a long time before we see someone that locked in for that long a period of time. He broke the most unbreakable record in sports, topping Wilt's famous 100-point game. I mean, come on! Will anyone who witnessed that masterpiece ever forget where they were when they saw it? I know I won't. I mean, I happen to have the best seats in the house, but still. Look, I could go on and on about the greatness of MP, but I know he likes to do that too. So, rather than step on all of his toes, allow me to introduce the man you are all here to see, the legend, the GOAT, MP.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And thank you, Coach Warren, for that beautiful introduction. Some people might be wondering why you took a few shots at me in my extremely valuable collectibles, but anyone who knows you knows you're a master motivator. And anyone who knows me knows I rise to the occasion when I've been disrespected. So once again, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me unlock the best version of me. Like Coach Warren just mentioned, people know my story by now. They know about my grandpa, the late, great Truck. They know about my father, Prince, and how he joined the league as a cocky kid, but left a champion. But what they might not know is that throughout my career, me and my dad would have these sprawling conversations late into the night, where we talk about the history of the game and my family's place in that history. One of my favorite memories from those conversations was the time my dad told me the story of my grandpa's first NBA game. My grandpa didn't have the advantages I had growing up. He was raised in the inner city by a blue-collar father and a stay-at-home mom. There were times when they struggled to put food on the table, but he never complained. He never asked, why me? He just put his head down and got to work. He could have taken the easy way out and did things he wasn't supposed to make a quick buck. But my grandpa, he wasn't built like that. He had love in his heart, and he wanted to make his parents proud. Now, don't get me wrong. If you mess with him or someone he loved, hey, well, trust me, you didn't want to do that. When it came time to fight for what was right, he never backed down. And that's the kind of ball player he was. He didn't have the most skill, but he had the most heart. He fought for a spot in the NBA like his life depended on it. Through sheer force of will, he got drafted by the Celtics in the 3rd round. He was sent to a minor league team to start his career, but he stayed ready. And it's a good thing that he did, because he only had 24 hours from the time he was called up to the time he had to guard Magic Johnson. And what did he do? He shut him down when everyone expected him to fall on his face. Nah, my grandpa, he rose to the occasion. I'll never forget the pride I saw on my father's face when he told me that story. He knew that if it wasn't for my grandpa's fierceness, loyalty, and unwavering belief in himself, neither of us would be where we are today. I love you, Grandpa. Thanks for everything. One of my favorite moments from those conversations was when my dad told me about the game that my grandpa outdueled Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Everyone remembers Truck as a defensive force, a great locker room guy, a valuable veteran mentor who showed young guys the ropes. But what most people don't remember is that the man could hoop. Now, that wasn't his strength, but when he felt like the team needed it, he wasn't afraid to get into his bag. If you don't believe me, watch the game. For those who need a refresher, the Pistons lost their first 3 matchups with the Bulls that year, and Coach Daly was sick of it. So during the 4th game, when MJ went out for 11 of the Bulls' first 12 points, my grandpa got the call to come in and knock MJ around a little, bad boy style. But Grandpa had other plans. He knew that what the team needed that day was for someone to go toe-to-toe with his airness. And by the time the dust settled, defensive stalwart Truck had outdueled the great Michael Jordan. The thing that I love about that story is that it shows a side of my grandpa most people didn't get to see. He sacrificed for his family, and he was a really serious guy, but he loved life, and he loved the game of basketball. And every once in a while, that fun-loving guy would come out of his shell and show the world that you can't pigeonhole someone, no matter how well you think you know them. One of my favorite memories from those conversations was the time that my dad told me about his first game against the late, great Kobe Bryant. People might remember that my dad was on fire that game, and you might expect him to be proud of that. But it turned out to be the worst thing for him because it gave him too much confidence. You need to believe in yourself to make it in this league, for sure. But the flip side to that is you have to stay hungry. And sometimes when you get early success, it can go to your head. That's what happened to my dad. He took his foot off the gas and was left behind. For a little while, anyway. The great thing about this story is it ends in triumph. Rather than whine and sulk his way out of the league, he got his head screwed on straight, got to work, and ended his career a champion. Growth isn't linear. When you think things can only go up, they go down. And when you think things can only go down, hey, they go up. My dad learned that the hard way, but he learned it. And that perseverance is something I'll always respect about him. One of my favorite memories from those conversations is when my dad told me about shutting down the great LeBron James in the NBA Finals. I love you, LeBron, don't get me wrong, but this is my moment, so I gotta tell this story. That's not always easy for someone like him. My dad could hoop. He had everything in his bag. But the proudest moment of his career was Game 4 of the Finals, when he used every last ounce of energy he had to shut down the greatest player on the planet. And again, I'm sorry, LeBron, but he held King James to under 10 points. Do you understand how wild that is in that moment? Lots of people still think he's some brash kid with no respect for the game. But those who knew him and love him like I do understand that he's a human being, one who learned from his mistakes and came out on the other side a better ball player and a better human being. My family paved the way for me, and I had every advantage growing up. But once I got to the NBA, they couldn't play the games for me. And as a lot of you remember, my first game was the most hyped debut since LeBron James. All eyes were on me, and everyone expected me to be spectacular. So what did I do? I killed it, obviously. I'm sure you guys remember. 20 million people watched that game. There's a reason I'm standing here right now, and it's not because I'm a great public speaker. It's because I delivered, time and time again. One of the most important things you can do if you want to have success is to set goals. And me, being who I am, I set some pretty lofty ones for my rookie season. I wanted to be the first player in NBA history to win Rookie of the Year, MVP, a championship, and Finals MVP. And I did it. People said I was crazy, but I knew I had the talent and the drive to do what had never been done before. It might sound cocky, but what's cocky when you can back it up? To me, that's just being honest. When people talk about my career, one of the first things they mention is how many championships I've won. And when I meet people for the first time, one of the most common questions I get is, what's it like to have more championships than Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Most people think I'll talk about the glory, the money, the fame. But when I think about those championships, I think about the people I shared those moments with. Winning means nothing if you have no one to share it with. So I'd like to thank every teammate, every coach, every friend, every family member, and every mentor who was there for me during my playing days. Without you all beside me, the winning wouldn't mean a thing. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to touch on this GOAT discussion that's been making the rounds after a couple of high-profile pundits have named me the best to ever do it. On the one hand, it's flattering. When you work as hard as I do at something like this, of course, a part of you wants to be the greatest. But what a lot of people in my situation won't admit is that so much of what I've accomplished comes down to luck. Yes, I made the most of my situation. But if I'm 5'0", basketball is completely off the table for me. I got lucky with my genes, lucky with my family, and lucky to be born where I was, when I was. So if you consider me the GOAT, well, I appreciate that. I'm proud of that. But to all the people in the world who can't do what I do, who aren't rich or famous, I want you to know that you're loved for who you are by the people who matter most. And that's way, way more important than anything you can do on the basketball court. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I thank you. Thank you for your time.
My boy getting out that brew.
Congrats on the sweep. Whew. There's some pretty funny memes online, if you're into that sort of thing.
You can be a human highlight reel. You can dunk with.
So let's talk about MP's place in history. Now, obviously he's the greatest to ever do it, but by how much?
MP's in the top tier. He's every bit the player that MJ, Kobe, and LeBron were, but choosing between them is impossible. They're from different generations and have different skills. Any of them could be the GOAT on any given day.
Wrong. It's MP today, yesterday, and tomorrow. It always has been MP, and it will always be
Okay,
MP.
but what about a guy like Wilt? Every time I bring up one of his records, you say he's not even human.
True.
And a guy like Bill Russell, he had 11 championships. 11.
That's a good point.
And with all that, you're still telling me that MP is the GOAT. No question, no single doubt in your mind.
Yep.
Must be nice to never be conflicted about anything.
It really is. I sleep great at night.
Really? What's your bed setup like? How many pillows?
3.
See?